Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Ravi. I'm the co-founder CEO of Zeeve. And today on Web3 Voice, we have very exciting guest, Nicky, who is the head of DeFi at Taiko. Taiko, as you all know, is a very exciting startup in the modular ecosystem, a based rollup serving the Ethereum ecosystem, a very exciting, very innovative rollup. And we are very excited at Zeeve to partner with Taiko. So, hi, Nicky.
Hi guys, how are you? Awesome meeting you and awesome to be here.
Yeah, so Nikki, before we get on to learn more about Taiko and what you are doing at Taiko, would love to know your journey so far in Web3, a bit about yourself and your journey so far.
My actual journey in Web3 started like a long time ago. So initially, I was really excited about ICO, generally speaking, like ICO space, and this basically paved my entry into Web3. So I started working in the Web3 space in 2017 and started my career, actually, my journey at a centralized exchange. Later, like worked for a custody solution provider too, and then for other foundations such as Neon, and Talos prior to joining Taiko. And yeah, so far really enjoy it. Of course, the space can be a bit too hectic, unorganized, and a little bit like crazy. But I guess like that kind of like the innovation here and everything keeps us all up at night, and we're working to making this space much more legit and safer for everyone else.
Right, got it. So I think that's super exciting. So coming to Taiko, so as we have seen, the modular ecosystem have grown very rapidly in last 3, 4 years. We have seen optimistic rollups, we have seen ZK rollups. So would love to learn more a bit about what Taiko is and how it plays a significant role in the Ethereum ecosystem.
Sure, I will gladly provide the information there. So basically, like whoever knows Taiko, like a lot of people know that we are the first based rollup on Ethereum. Of course, not everyone knows the difference between different types of rollups, like you mentioned, for example, optimistic rollups and stuff like that. So I can give you a little bit of an overview. And a lot of the times, like when I actually start talking about Taiko, one of the questions I get, like, there are so many rollups, why do we need an additional one? Which is a fair question to ask as well. So I will just give you a little bit of a rundown of what a base rollup is and why is it really, it's highly imperative for us and why we do believe in this, right? So actually a rollup is based or L1 sequenced when its sequencing is actually driven by the base L1. So what does it mean, right? So based sequencing enjoys actually the same liveness guarantees as a layer one, which is Ethereum in our case. And then like a base sequencing actually inherits the decentralization of the layer one and naturally reuses L1 searcher builder proposer infrastructure. Also, base sequencing is very simple. And what is really important also for us, it's like when it comes to the economic alignment with Ethereum, like MEV originating from base rollups naturally flows to this base L1. So these are like key, for example, features. And one thing that I would like to emphasize, like especially in the space where we have like different rollups, and as you may know, majority of the rollups rely on the centralized sequencer. This was a no-go for us from the onset of our architecture. We wanted to actually, this is why we went down this route, because we wanted to ensure that our sequencer is decentralized. And as I mentioned, base sequencing inherits the decentralization of layer one. So as a matter of fact, our sequencer is decentralized. So that's basically like how the base rollups operate and work. Of course, compared to some other rollups within the space, the base rollups can be a bit slower, a bit more expensive, because we do inherit a lot actually from Ethereum. But also like one thing that I would like to mention that's coming up in our technical roadmap, it's the preconfirmations, because like preconfirmation will go live, like I believe the end of Q1, sometime in Q2 on mainnet. And it basically like they basically optimize the transaction confirmation process to improve like user experience. So as a matter of fact, like like in the base pre-confirmation model, L1 validators provide users with a guarantee of transaction outcomes. And pre-confirmers, they need to stake collateral and adhere to a slashing mechanism to ensure system reliability. And Taiko kind of like established reliable transaction finality by introducing the pre-confirmation mechanism, which creates a more convenient operational environment, for different dApps like on DeFi that kind of require real-time confirmation. So that's a little bit about our upcoming rollup as well.
Got it. No, I think that's super interesting. So as you explained about Based Rollup, and I had read extensively about how Based Rollup works and how it differs from optimistic and ZK rollups. And you rightly said, I think the way it inherits the decentralization security, and it is very tightly coupled with the Ethereum, the base layer, right? Vis-a-vis the other stacks. And one thing that you rightly mentioned is about the centralization of the sequencer layer, which is right now very much true as far as most of the other rollup stacks are concerned. And most of the rollups out there, they are using centralized sequencer. And in fact, we have launched a project called Cero, which is a decentralized sequencing network. And we have recently done a alpha testnet launch called Lotus testnet that we are going to do a big announcement at ETH. So we realize there are quite a few gaps there, and that needs to be fulfilled. And at the same time, you mentioned that, in the case of Based Rollups, yes, since you inherit a lot of decentralization and security from Ethereum, it tends to be a bit more expensive. It used the DA layer. Ethereum also has the DA layer. But then there are some obvious benefits, So how do you see in terms of competition in the market or adoption in the market? How do you see Based Rollup vis-a-vis other stacks? How you see developer adoption coming up, especially from a DeFi standpoint?
Sure. I mean, like, when we started, we were quite early to this Based Rollup narrative, even though like a lot of folks from the Ethereum Foundation or like from the community, they were pushing this narrative. Like we've seen, for example, the videos or the content from Justin Drake. He spoke a lot about Based Rollups, and now also you can find different podcasts which discuss based and native rollups. And essentially, we really pride ourselves being like kind of first in this like ecosystem driving the Based Rollup narrative. And we do see like actually a lot of other competitors like, or, the partners within the ecosystem, like within the rollup ecosystem going for the base design as well, which is actually quite encouraging. And we are, I mean, like, of course, from one point of view, they are to a certain degree competitors. But of course, like, as Taiko, we are happy to support and help out there because, we kind of like, built this and we had our own fair share of challenges and stuff like that. And also we're still in the phase of learning. So I think we can collaborate and kind of learn together as well. But also the other thing that I would like to mention, as you correctly pointed out, like the Based Rollups, because since we inherit everything pretty much, like if you look at from the architectural construct, the consensus, the settlement layer, as you mentioned, as well, like it's all Ethereum based, right? So like the data availability layer as well. And as a matter of fact, like the Based Rollups are a bit more expensive and slower, but with the introduction of the pre-confirmations, that's bound to change because the pre-confirmation will allow users to receive transaction confirmations more quickly, kind of like removing the common delays and inefficiencies in the rollup mechanism. So because like in the rollup mechanism, there's always an efficiency issue with the confirmation process, like especially after users submit transactions to L2. as centralized auto sequencers, like they cannot accurately guarantee when transactions will be confirmed on L1. Users are often also like uncertain about the order and outcome of transactions to a certain degree. So, for example, like sometimes users will have to wait a long time for transactions to be included in L1, and if the transaction order is incorrect or the result is not the best or not the ideal, it can lead to kind of like, let's say, probably financial losses from the executed transactions, right? So as a matter of fact, like when it comes to the goal of Preconfirmations is to address a lot of shortcomings which are experienced when it comes and are impacted by the rollup inefficiencies. So like Preconfirmations provide users with transaction inclusivity, ordering, and execution guarantees, for example. So it offers users like kind of soft confirms as well. Yeah, so that's what I would like to mention.
Got it. Right. No, I think that's very interesting. Right. So I see that you have achieved quite a few most of your roadmap for 2024. And one of the interesting items that I saw was on the integration with the ZK proofs. So what is the current proof system in the base rollup with Taiko? And is it ZK proof based? And so a bit more about the proving system today that you have.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think, like it's called, I mean, probably you've seen information about Taiko, and essentially it's Taiko's multi-prover. So I'm not super technical to talk about it, but I can give you a little bit of glimpses into that. So like Taiko is Taiko's like block prover, and it's an integrated environment that basically runs and benchmarks ZKVM targets. We also support like SP1, RISC-0, and SGX. And
Okay.
why we are actually kind of like implemented it, because the multi-proof approach, we believe that it can hedge the risks of bugs and vulnerabilities in client implementation and proving system. And in the end of the day, if you look at it, like the Ethereum endgame usually like assumed ZK proving a one box. So that's another reason like we worked on this front as well.
Right. And Taiko is a EVM equivalent chain, right? And that
Correct.
means that anyone who is running their dApp on Ethereum or any EVM compatible chain can easily migrate to Taiko, right?
Correct.
Without making
Correct.
any change.
Exactly. It's fairly simple to migrate to Taiko, especially because like it's a EVM type 1, so pretty much everything is inherited from Ethereum. So like pretty much there are no constraints or any issues with the migration, because like when it comes to type 1, you strive to be fully Ethereum equivalent. So you don't change any part of the Ethereum system to make it like, you don't make it different. You don't replace hashes, state trees, or whatever, precompiles, or any in like logics, no matter how like peripheral they are.
Got it. Got it. No, I think, Nikki, it has been great to learn a lot about what Taiko has been doing, and especially a bit about the Based Rollups. I'm sure since you and your team are coming to ETH Denver, and also, you are participating with us on our Rollup Day, our team of rollup builders would be very keen to learn more about Based Rollups, and would participate, and there would be a lot of healthy interactions, productive sessions, and we are very excited for you to partner with us. So any plans that you have, any exciting news or updates that you have would be coming in, or we can see during ETH Denver or in upcoming events this month or next?
Sure. So actually, if you've seen, I think you guys are, we sent you also the invitation and informed, like we're hosting an event during East Denver, which will be revolving around Taiko Takeoff. And it's actually our new initiative that will be running. It hasn't been officially announced yet. I mean, we have already like written basically an article about it, but like the terms, the conditions and stuff like that, they weren't really announced. So maybe I can just give a little bit of information here. here. So basically what Taiko Takeoff is to actually enable the projects to launch their tokens natively on Taiko. So, and as a matter of fact, we're like basically allocating up to 1 million US dollars in grants or in total budget for the project to come on board and launch their token natively on Taiko. And the idea is that we provide the full support. So when it comes to grants, centralized exchange listings, like investments, marketing, KOL support and stuff like that to ensure that the launch is actually successful. So that's one of the initiatives that we've been working on, and we will be announcing it during the East Denver. And we already have like a first candidate, so we will announce it soon as well. It's one of the really solid and great projects, and we're really happy to be partnered with them. So this is number one. And number two, what I would like to also mention, very important, because we will be in San Francisco during the ETHSF week. So on 10th of actually March, we will be hosting an event. We have invited a lot of, I would say, important, well-known speakers from the space, including Vitalik. He'll be there as well. So please come and join our Based Rollup Summit. The event is also listed on the ETHSF website. So we're looking forward to seeing you there, and we'll be making some important announcements there as well.
Oh, I think this is super awesome. I think this grant program, I'm sure some of the builders within our community would be very interested to know more about this. And we may find some builders who may be of interest to your network.
Yes.
And some of our team members would be there around in March in US. So I'll pass on the information to Thomas, who probably would be able to attend this event and would be keen to meet, a lot of other people in the rollup ecosystem.
Totally. Like, we'll be more than happy. It's on ETHSF. Yeah, like, please feel free to register. We're looking forward to seeing you there. And yeah, and looking forward also working with the gifted and talented developers. Super excited about this and can't wait for the next milestones to unlock.
Absolutely. So with that, thanks a lot, Nikki. Thanks a lot for joining us today. And thanks a lot for joining us on the Rollup and App Chain Day at ETH Denver, hosted by Zeeve. And I think we would be very excited to meet your team, host the event together, and create some good buzz during ETH Denver.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for hosting me. It's a pleasure to be here and really awesome to work with you guys. I remember actually like we did certain like also hosted like events in Bangkok, right? Where when we attended one of your roll-up days and we were also participating there too. It's really a pleasure and honor to work with you. And I'm looking forward to solidifying this partnership further and working even closer, much more closer with you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Keep building, keep smiling.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.